Welcome back, everybody. This is Monica with Thrive in Your Body. You may be this person who is trying to heal from a chronic, complex illness. Maybe you have a lot of complex symptoms that are not fully explained by medical science, and you're trying to get ahead, but it is very difficult. And not just because of the complexity of your pain or your situation, but because you are living in this reality where you have a job, maybe you have kids, maybe you have elderly parents, animals you take care of, you have to pay your bills. And most of that healing and self-care advice out there seems to be addressing people who really are not living in this reality, right? People who have plenty of time, plenty of funds, don't have to pay bills and don't have to go to work every day, and can just spend all this time on self-healing and creating this beautiful environment for themselves to get ahead with their health and their body. If you're not that person at this time, what I wanted to do is give you a bit of a roadmap and reassure you that actually it is absolutely possible to address your chronic issues even though you have a full life and you have bills to pay, a job to go to, kids to take care of, and many, many responsibilities during the day. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a realistic healing week and what it can look like for you to still be helpful, even though you have to work and you have to take care of many things and maybe don't have all this time and energy to be spending on self-healing and creating environment that would be truly beneficial for your health. The key idea here will be what I call touch points, tiny repeatable actions that you can incorporate into the most hectic and difficult and busy day. All right. So, in contrast to those all or nothing protocols where you really have to take a lot of time, spend a lot of money, maybe travel to different places, maybe see very expensive professionals to help you out. In contrast, what I wanted to talk about is how to be realistic about your health and how to take those small yet consistent steps that will give your nervous system and your body an input and put it on the road to recovery with repeatable and confident strategy. Okay, so let's go back to the touch points. What are those? So I define them as brief, predictable moments throughout the day where you can check in with your body and your nervous system to create safety and to create connection. You're not adding a second job to your day. Okay, so I think that this is the biggest advantage of this strategy. This is just going to be 5 to 15 minutes a day of wise and consistently performed steps and actions, and that can shift your baseline. All right, shift your baseline, yes, into something that's more consistent and supportive rather than being sporadic, rather than those intense sporadic efforts of like going on a retreat for 2 weeks and then coming back to the hectic life and really losing the benefits. Okay, so let's talk about the touch points and how we can incorporate them into our day. So if you have a job, if you go to work Monday through Friday, the best way to start is think about your mornings. And I know that you probably will tell me, I have no time in the morning. I have to get up and get myself ready, get my kids ready if you have kids, get prepared, and I'm already exhausted because I didn't sleep well. It is too hard. I cannot add anything. Yet, you know what? I'm going to tell you, you do have 3 to 5 minutes that you can spend with yourself, and it would only make it actually easier and more efficient to get all the chores done. So in the morning, when you wake up, let's aim for 5 to 10 minutes max before diving into your phone or into work or into chores in the morning. One thing that I love to do is when I wake up in the morning, instead of grabbing my phone and checking my email right away, I spend 3 minutes just opening my eyes, taking a breath, and then I use my hands because our hands are powerful. They are healing. And I ask myself, I scan my body, take a breath, and ask myself, where does my body feel stressed? Where is the tension? And then I also ask myself, is there a place where actually I feel more support and openness? And then using my hands, I can choose either the open place or the stressed out place. Say, for example, I feel really tense in my chest. So I take my hands, put them on my chest, and gently breathe. And just feel the warmth of my hands. Feel the connection with my chest. And just maybe gently spread it out as I breathe gently and slowly. I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm not trying to achieve anything, not trying to stretch it. I'm trying to give my body a sense of safety. I'm trying to signal to my nervous system that I am here for you. My hands are here for you. I can support you. We can do it. And this actually helps our body and our nervous system to find a sense of grounding. 2 to 3 minutes is enough. If you have 10 minutes, that's wonderful. But really, you don't have to spend a lot of time on that. The key point of this that I want you to take is that we're not trying to fix anything. We are setting a tone for the day. And as you practice after, a few weeks, you'll notice that your day is much more steady, that you are more connected because you checked in with your body first and talked with it first. All right? So what about the workday? You may be this person who's working 5 days a week, 9 to 5, with a very hectic job, in front of the computer, in front of the screen, with a lot of demands, a lot of people, wanting things from you, a lot of phone calls, a lot of, things to solve. And you feel like there's just really no time to take a longer break. And there may not be. Maybe your lunch break is actually spent catching up with whatever you needed to do during your workday. So, those long hours take a big toll. And what we can do, even if we have no time, again, let's talk about touch points. Let's talk about the micro pause you can take. And for example, if you're working at home, you can stand up from your computer and walk to the kitchen to get some water. But the key idea is not to walk to get the water. It is to walk to connect with your body. And as you walk in, notice, how is your body feeling? What is moving? What is stiff? Can you loosen up a little bit as you walk? Grab your water, take a sip mindfully, and then go back to your work. This is gonna take about 2 minutes. Other options, just a few deep breaths. When you have, maybe 2 to 3 minutes between Zoom meetings, sit down, feel the buttocks on the chair, feel that grounding underneath you, and feel your chest filling up with air as you breathe. Exhale through your mouth, making that exhale longer than the inhale. Check in with your body. Ask yourself, what is the place that's most tensed up and contracted right now? Maybe I can put my hands there again. Just like you did in the morning. And then go back to work. So the idea is that you didn't try to fix anything. You didn't try to fix your pain or discomfort. You just checked in and signaled to your body and your nervous system a sense of safety. And this sets you up for a better way, for a better operational, management of your day. Um, Again, it also tells our body that we are allowed to pause. We don't have to be so hectic running after what we need to do. We're not trapped. We have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It doesn't matter. The time is not essential. Now, another thing that often happens, say you had that busy day at work, then you get home and maybe you have to take some care of some chores, cooking dinner, taking your kids, bringing your kids back from school, whatever you need to do. And then after you finish your chores, you just collapse. You collapse in front of the TV with your remote, or collapse in front of your phone and scrolling mindlessly, I wanted to say, mindlessly through the social media. Because it feels like your brain just cannot take it anymore. You need that break. Well, let me tell you, scrolling through the social media is not a break. It's actually a very activating activity that makes your nervous system rev up even more. And then when you're trying to go to bed and calm down and fall asleep, your nervous system and your body has a very hard time to do that. It's like trying to run a marathon and then right away go to bed and sleep. No, you won't, because your body will be revved up. Well, let me tell you, scrolling through the social media sort of is like a marathon for your nervous system and for your brain. So before you go to bed, a winding down routine is extremely important, and will make your sleep over time, over months, hopefully weeks, but usually over months, it will make you sleep much better. And so what I like to do is take my 20 minutes before bed and just lay down on the floor. I don't even use my tools. I don't even use the ball or any other foam rollers. I just use my hands again, right? So I lay down on the floor and just feel my body touching the surface of the floor, that support underneath me. Take some breaths and just allow myself to just simply be. And if I feel tension in my body, say again, I feel tension on my chest, I put my hands there and just breathe and allow my hands to sink in, maybe gently spread out. Maybe I put my hands behind my neck and gently spread out and maybe pull a little bit. Remembering that my hands are powerful. Your hands are powerful. They have an ability to heal and ground you and support you. So use them. You don't even have to buy expensive self-treatment tools because you have them already. Okay, so I say the aim in the evening, it's not to just crash into bed. It's actually to land your plane safely. Okay, and even a modest improvement in your evening routine is actually going to improve your sleep. And it will make just cascade forward, making your day and each day after that much easier. And so this is for the weekend. As you see, you just spent 2-3 minutes in the morning, maybe 5 minutes during the day, 15-20 minutes in the evening, even 5 minutes in the evening if you really don't have that time. Maybe on the weekends you actually have a little bit more time, so you can create a longer routine. Maybe in the middle of the day you'll have about 15-20 minutes where you can again just lay down on the floor, use your hands to touch areas that are hurting, maybe your head, maybe your chest, your neck, your hips. Maybe you want to do a little movement where you're laying down or sitting up and just rolling your hips back and forth to connect with your body. Breathing with exhaling longer than inhaling, because that down regulates the nervous system. So be creative. Don't have to do anything technical. You can just lay down and just feel your body on the ground, touching the surface and just allowing yourself to be there. That's the most important thing. Allowing your nervous system to know that it's okay to be here. I am safe. Nobody is pushing me to do anything right now. Even if they are, take that 15 minutes, and you have to be disciplined about it. take that 15 minutes and reclaim it for yourself. This will propel you on the path of healing going forward. What is actually wonderful to do during, a weekend or any time, that you have a little more time, is to journal a little bit. And it's not journaling like writing everything that, you want to complain about, or it's just journaling to give yourself a little bit of a review of the week. And the question I like to ask is, number one, what made things better for me? Is there one or two things that I did that actually improved my week? And write that down, remember that. If you want to tweak it or improve it a little bit, you can be creative. And then ask yourself, what are the things that made things worse or drained me? And cross them out. Ask yourself, how can I actually eliminate those things from my day? And it's obviously some of those things are not going to be possible to eliminate. But, again, let's go back to scrolling on social media. Perhaps you got irritated by what you saw on Instagram or Facebook. Was that helpful for you? No. What about if you reduce that time of scrolling by 5 or 10 minutes every day, and you can set it up as your goal? There's nothing about perfection here. It's about taking those teeny little steps that will, over time, change your attitude and signal to your body and your nervous system that it is safe to take care of myself. Again, it is not about perfection. We sometimes think that if I miss a day of self-care, I ruined it all. I'm just not going to recover anymore. It's not true, because if you set up a right foundation of repeatable little micro practices every day, your body will be able to recover much easier if things go awry. Okay? So if you are interested in this subject, if you find this helpful, I wrote an article that I'm linking underneath this website, and it takes you through a bigger whole person healing roadmap, where I include those micro practices that you can do every day into a bigger picture of different phases of healing from chronic illness. And also, I really talk to people who are living real lives, who have jobs, kids, parents, dogs, cats, who have responsibilities and chores, and yet have to deal with a chronic illness or a complex set of symptoms and chronic pain. So I invite you to take a look at the article. Let me know how it landed. Let me know if you have your own micro practices that you like to do that are helpful to you. All right, again, this is Monica with Thrive in Your Body, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.